Hello, shalom, and blessings to you. This is the Dispensation of God channel, and my name is Stephen. And over the weekend, I had gathered together a lot of scriptures about how the way that Jesus builds our thrones, the thrones of our royal priesthood, and how he teaches us in his way to be his priests. And again, he changed direction on me as far as what he wanted me to share. And this came in way of a dream. It was my birthday this weekend, and the morning of my birthday, I had woken up to let the dog out, and went back to sleep. And he gave me two different scriptures. The first, it played over and over in my dream. It was Psalm 25, verse 7, and the other was Psalm 25, verse 2. And I didn't know the words to them, and so it was so pronounced and just loud that as soon as I woke up, I dug right in, and it really touched my heart because he was giving me a message that was related to my birthday, that was related to how he's built my throne, and touched on tribulation that I've gone through over the last 3 years, and how he's used that for good to teach me in his word and in the way, and just really strengthen me. And so I'm going to share these two verses, and then we're going to read all of Psalm 25 because it touches on the mystery of Christ, how all of this is a gift. It's not that I can live a life free of sin in my flesh, or in my own way, but that this is a gift of God. And being part of the family, it shows how through judgments, through tribulations, and through all things really that happen to us, that God is working in our lives, and he's bringing all through all of these difficult situations, he's teaching us in his way, and bringing us to the end of ourselves, and how these things are just really good for us. So verse 7, remember not the sins of my youth, nor my transgressions, according to thy mercies. Remember thou me for thy goodness sake, O Lord. And then verse 2, O my God, I trust in thee. Let me not be ashamed. Let not my enemies triumph over me. And these two were really significant to me because in my professional life, which died 3 years ago, and pretty much on my birthday, it culminated in me receiving a judgment in court. And I had my insurance company had wrongfully denied a claim to represent me, and just all the the markings of collusion and parties just kind of teaming up on you. These things had been present. And there were some things that had happened I found out about last week that really showed me that the Lord had been fighting my battles, and through various situations that are all kind of culminating to come together, God's created a situation where that bad thing that happened to me, and the enemy trying to come at me again, had created a situation where some good is actually going to come from all of this, and hopefully the truth will come out, which will vindicate me. But through all of this, what seems like bad tribulation, God freed me from it so that he could fight my battle for me. And in the way things turned out, that, I've had to live in my van and be separated from my family more. And, there have certainly been a lot of trials along the way, but how God has used that to strengthen me in the knowledge of his word, and just perfect me. And he wanted me to share this with you because all of the tribulations that we've been going through as a society pale in comparison to what what's really coming at us. This year is going to be a very difficult year for a lot of people, and God's corrective judgments haven't even started coming. I believe that those are going to come first. A lot of people who are expecting the Antichrist and the mark of the beast are going to be, I think, joyfully corrected whenever we see hail and brimstone rain from the sky, God's arrows, because a lot of people in the church who don't know this mystery of Christ, or that they, as Christians, are supposed to be rendered unable to sin and not yield unto sin, how God is using all of these difficult times to really bring us back to His Word and allow Him to minister unto us, and not men who have got it wrong for 1,700 years. How the image of Christ, the real Christ, and what He can do in our lives, how He's going to change us. That's really the message that's going to come out. Anyway, I'm going to jump here, and we're going to cover all of Psalm 25. Unto Thee, O Lord, do I lift up my soul. O my God, I trust in Thee. Let me not be ashamed. Let not my enemies triumph over me. Yea, let none that wait on Thee be ashamed. Let them be ashamed which transgress without course. Show me Thy ways, O Lord. Teach me Thy paths. Lead me in Thy truth, and teach me, for Thou art the God of my salvation. On Thee do I wait all the day. Remember, O Lord, Thy tender mercies and Thy loving kindness, for they have been ever of old. Remember not the sins of my youth, nor my transgressions. According to Thy mercy, remember Thou me for Thy goodness' sake, O Lord. Good and upright is the Lord. Therefore will He teach sinners the way. The meek will He guide in judgment, and the meek will He teach His way. All the paths of the Lord are mercy and truth unto such as keep His covenant and His testimonies. For Thy name's sake, O Lord, pardon mine iniquity, for it is great. What man is he that feareth the Lord? Him shall He teach in that way, or in the way that he shall choose. His soul shall dwell at ease, and his seed shall inherit the earth. The secret of the Lord is with them that fear Him, and He will show them His covenant. Mine eyes are ever toward the Lord, for He shall pluck my feet out of the net. Turn Thee unto me, and have mercy upon me, for I am desolate and afflicted. The troubles of my heart are enlarged. O bring Thou me out of my distress. Look upon mine affliction and my pain, and forgive all my sins. Consider my enemies, for they are many, and they hate me with cruel hatred. O keep my soul and deliver me. Let not me be ashamed, for I put my trust in Thee. Let integrity and uprightness preserve me, for I wait on Thee. Redeem Israel, O God, out of all his troubles. And I ran into a gentleman this weekend coming out of a church, and kind of shared with him the mystery of Christ. And God had just set up a situation where we would be forced to talk about these things. But I get from a lot of people who haven't heard it that the inability for us to sin is really the inability for us to stay in ongoing sin. Like, it's the practice of sin. And I've used these words before, so I know them very well, that we're not to practice sin like a doctor practices, his profession, where it's habitual. And, a lot of people look at this from the wrong angle, where they think that, well, they're unable to sin, unable to not to sin. And that's very much true. But we're supposed to die to ourselves, and this is a gift from God. And it says, pull me from the net, like save me from my afflictions. These are things that we can't save ourselves from. And anyway, I wanted to share with you today just really like God uses these tribulations just like he's used my tribulations, where, I've been living in a van with a dog for the past, 2, 3 years. And, he's blessed me along the way, but through what's been, a really difficult part of my life, he's used it to pull me closer. And it may end up that out of, the things that are out of my control, the battles that he's been fighting, that, I might be financially restored, and, hopefully the truth come out and me be vindicated. I'm not really, it's only going to be God that does that. I'm not like counting on that or anything. But more to the point, this being 2023, we have a lot of tribulations that are going to be coming our way, and that, as they disrupt your life, and they're going to disrupt all of our lives, even me, who's prepared for, or, largely prepared for what's coming. That God is going to be moving in some new and interesting ways. And those that are really, seeking him to cleanse them and to guide them, when we put down the news and, all of these other sources of data, and we look to him for truth, because, even alternative media, they have a lot of facts, but those facts aren't necessarily true. In fact, a lot of them aren't true. But, it's like we have a lot of bad eschatology teaching within the church, that, the first thing that's going to happen is the rapture, and then the Antichrist is going to reign right after that. And the propaganda through World Economic Forum and others is that, we're getting close to the time where the beast system rises, and all those things are probably true. But a staggering amount of the church, and it's probably pretty close to, 5 out of 7 churches, just like it was in Revelation 2 and 3. But a staggering, percentage of the church don't know who Jesus really is. They don't have the correct image of who he is, or, what the gospel is, what the saving grace is. They don't know what it is. And so it's going to be through these tribulations that are coming that they're going to learn the truth. And it's going to start with hailfire coming down from heaven, God's arrows. And as the trumpet judgments proceed, it's going to be pretty obvious, what the truth is, that that God's word is true, and that through the church, men have really, Satan has given us a false version of what those events look like. But God's going to make those things known, and it's going to be through tribulation. So I guess he just wanted me to share with you a little bit of testimony, as far as how he's building my throne, and my priesthood on his righteousness and on his word. And God bless you, and we'll see you in another episode here.